everyone to the Breeding Beef Show. The Clayton County Breeding Beef Show. Our judge for the Breeding Beef Show is Jed Sidwell of Juliet, Illinois. Jed grew up in northern Colorado, where he and his family raise and show nationally competitive cattle and sheep. Judging led Jed to Butler Community College. I'm just going to turn it off. Judging led to Jed, that's not working. And from there to Oklahoma State. It did not do that yesterday at all. Jed's Oklahoma.
Young man brings us a nice single entry Shorthorn Plus calf to kick off our heifer show here. One that's obviously pretty green yet today, but I think she reads with just a ton of future about her. I love this one's body for her age, and when you step in behind her, she's wide pinned and has some natural muscle shape and dimension. Still neat and feminine up front. Should be a nice one for the young man to see how this one feeds out and grows. Let's go ahead and give him a big round of applause.
Our judge for the Breeding Beef Show is Jed Sidwell of Juliet, Illinois.
That mic was from
Turn this back on. works for him out in the ring. That's
Right,
the
because
only
he's away
thing.
from the
Yeah.
speaker. It's the speaker that's picking it up.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if I set up the second one.
a really deep class of calves that the young folks bring us. And there's an extra added challenge of bringing this one and getting one of these ready for the fair, because you have a shorter window to get them weaned, halter broke, on feed and dialed in like this, the way these young people have. And they've done a great job of it from top to bottom out here. They're doing a great job with their projects. I thought it got kind of close between this top trio that we had. For me, in terms of just putting the most together and body structure and balance, I like the young lady's Baldy that leads us off. That one's the softest and boldest in terms of her body. She's the widest when we step in right behind them. It's still from the side. She's really feminine and neat there through the front 1/3 of her body. She utilizes her feet and leg structure really well. If I'm getting just a little bit nitpicky on this one, she wants to get up in her spine just ever so slightly as she gets out and goes. I think it might be her just struggling against the halter a little bit. A very nice project for the young lady. I love just the practicality this kind of blaze-faced heifer has here in second. She reads like the kind of cow that'll just last for a really long time, and her softness of her body, the way she uses her hip and hind leg is very, very nice. She just gets a little bit plainer in her look from the side, where she has just a bit more leather up front. We step in behind the cattle. I wish she was just a little bit wider. Incredibly feminine, striking heifer comes here in 3. It doesn't hurt at all that she has a cool color pattern that catches your eye. The young lady says she's a Hereford Shorthorn Cross, and she obviously looks like it. And from the side, you really like the symmetry and balance she has. She just maybe gets a bit frailer in terms of her bone work, a bit narrower when we step in behind the cattle. Red Brockle heifer probably does have just a shot more stoutness to her from behind, a bit more hip and pin in that one. She's really long and level in terms of her spine and sound on the go. She gets just a bit tighter back into her flank compared to the cattle ahead of her. I'd like to see her with a shot more bone as well. And the pair of cattle that round out our class, the young man's Black Angus and the young lady's Shorthorn Plus there. Obviously, maybe just a bit greener in this set, lacks some maturity compared to the ones ahead of them, but I still think they read with the right kind of future for the young people today. Just need a shot more body. Let's go ahead and give them all a big round of applause.
I have a second mic, but if you just keep this one and you just have to push it once.
Great.
Do you think it's okay if I introduce now? Reintroduce when they're doing the supreme? You're fine. I just have to go away from the speaker to talk. Test. All right, we're going to try this again. Welcome to the Breeding Beef Show of the 2026 Clayton County Fair. Our judge for the Breeding Beef Show is Jed Sidwell of Juliet, Illinois. Jed grew up in northern Colorado, where he and his family raise and show nationally competitive cattle and sheep. Judging led Jed to Butler Community College, and from there to Oklahoma State University in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Jed's Oklahoma State Livestock Judging Team was reserve national champion in 2025. Jed graduated from Oklahoma State University with a degree in finance and is now a commodity broker. Jed hosts a daily agricultural and finance podcast on the Ag Bowl media platform. Each week, Jed also hosts a show called Fat Tuesday that focuses on sharing financial and market information surrounding the cattle industry.
Well, a fun set of calves to work through, and as we bring back both our class winners out here, I want to commend the young people just one more time for doing an excellent job and being patient with a set of calves like this, because they always don't act the best when they take them to the fair for the first time, and really the exhibitors are doing a top-notch job. With that, I thought there was a pair of them that just came with a bit more body, a bit more stoutness, and they match each other, not only just in their kinds, but in their color. The two out of our second class will be champion and reserve.
you. Oh, hold on. Everybody hold on. What goes where?
Out of the first class of all other breeds, first went to Parker Sabers, champion trophy sponsored by Blake and Andrew Dodry. Commercial heifer calves, class first went to Kinsey Cream, second Abigail Fueling, third Grace Meyer, fourth Rosalie Larson, fifth Parker Sabers, sixth Colleen Roman. Trophies for those classes were sponsored by Clayton County Farm Bureau, Rod Glave, AgriKing Incorporated, and Steve Schilling with Purina Animal Nutrition. Currently in the ring are registered heifers, Morgan Meyer, Lane Cherney, Cambry Wessel, Connor Bailey, Walker Settle, Jake Meyer, Wyatt Walls, and Peyton Stanner.
I can't do 5 jobs at once.
just a great and an incredibly deep class of Angus cattle to sort, and it's fun when you have numbers like this because you can really step in and evaluate each of them and be just a little bit nitpicky because there's more to choose from out here. I just thought first impression, the young lady's heifer that leads us off immediately just commands your attention. Her balance, look, everything from the side ties together where it needs to be, where your neck ties into her shoulder, the productive and maternal sweep back into her flank, the construction and just assembly to her hip and hind leg is very nice. She props up really nice from the side. If I'm getting a little bit nitpicky, both these heifers are Februaries. This one's on just the upper side of probably the size for me. This one's just getting a little bit quicker maturing. I'd kind of like to even them out, maybe make them just a bit more similar in terms of their size, meet somewhere in the middle. But for me, first impression, this one is very dang good. This one that comes in second, I think gets close between 2 and 3 in this class. Obviously, this heifer's presentation really matches the one that leads off for us today. And I like her moderation in terms of her body type. She reads like an easy keeping kind of cow that comes with plenty of natural muscle shape and dimension for an Angus. Every now and then, when we get her cranking up her head, as we ask her to circle around, it kind of causes her to be limited in the reach out of her shoulder because she's just a little bit upright up front. I'd like to change her rear foot shape just ever so slightly, but I like that one's body, just overall productive look. Man, this is a good kind of cow that comes in 3. You just really love how she can get out and go with maybe the most flexibility of the class while still maintaining her top line, the levelness of her hip all the way out to her tail head so well. She's still awesome in terms of her body. I like to fix her up front. She's a bit off in how she ties her neck to her shoulder. Wants to deviate there just ever so slightly. Clean her up about her navel to just make her a bit more feminine to play with the cattle ahead of her. Freeze branded heifer that comes next, I thought really was good in terms of her feet and legs as well. It comes with a lot of power when we study them up high. She maybe just gets a bit off in her balance as well. I like to clean her up there through her front end. She's almost has too much set to her hind leg. She can get underneath herself just ever so slightly, but I like that one's body and power. A bit more of an immature heifer comes next, and man, she's maybe the most feminine one of the entire set. The way she's just so elegant through the front 1/3 of her body. She's very sound and good-footed as we ask her to get out and go. Just wish there was more to her today through the center portion of her body. Big stout-hipped heifer comes next, and you love her in terms of her forerib, pin width, all reads with the right kind of shape, power, and practicality. She maybe just gets off in terms of her balance from the side, a bit coarser naveled, tighter back into her flank. Really tall fronted heifer. It's got a lot of length and extension up front. She's maybe just a bit awkward there in terms of her chest and brisket. I'd like to redesign her rear foot shape to allow her to get out and go with more flexibility. A lot of growth and extension. Young lady does a great job getting this one presented, and I like that she's taking the time to get this one fit up. She just needs more body to play with the rest of the cattle today. Excellent class. Let's go ahead and give them all a big round of applause.
Placings for the Angus registered heifers. First, Cambry Wessel. Second, Wyatt Walls. Third, Walker Settle. Fourth, Morgan Meyer. Fifth, Connor Bailey. Sixth, Lane Cherney. Seventh, Jake Meyer. Eighth, Peyton Stannard. Now in the ring are Hereford registered heifers, Ashley Schilling, Luke Schilling, and Ashley Schilling. Trophies for the Angus registered heifers class were sponsored by Adam and Lisa Wigan and Jeremy and Jamie Orr.
trickier class of Hereford heifers to sort here, and you could stack them a couple different ways based off of how you want to place your priorities. I think the young lady's heifer that leads us off becomes the answer because she combines some things you like in each of them. You like her added body that matches the one here in second. You like her top line symmetry that it comes in the one in third. She kind of puts it together in a bit more of a complete package. I'm still pretty confident she's the soundest one when we ask him to get out and go. The build to her hip and hind leg reads nice. She's got some body to her. I still wish she just had a bit more to her today. When we step in behind her, study her from the side, I wish she had some more depth back into her flank. But she reads like the kind with a lot of longevity to her. I like the added moderation of the dark red heifer here that comes next. A goggle eye, that kind of size. It kind of looks like the kind of cows or Herefords that we run in my part of the country in Colorado. A bit easier keeping. She maybe just gets a bit plainer in her look. When we step in behind her, she's just a little bit narrower in terms of her construction. Big growthy heifer comes next, and like I alluded to, from the top of her shoulder all the way back out to her tailhead, is perfectly symmetrical there. She has a nice set to her hind leg. Up front though, she gets a bit upright in the angle that to her shoulder. It causes her to fall out of balance as we ask her to get out and go. But a very nice class. Let's give them a round of applause.
Placings for Hereford registered heifers. First, Ashley Schilling. Second, Ashley Schilling. And third, Luke Schilling. Trophy sponsored by TLG Farms and Eldon Length Memorial. Now entering the ring, Semitol registered heifers, Ace Beatty, Layla Beatty, and Reed Hansel.
Put a purple ribbon right on the side. That works too.
really tricky pair of cattle to sort here in the top end of our semi class, and there's some back and forth between them. For me, when studying balance, look, and proportions from the side, I think there's just a bit more of a silhouette in the heifer that leads us off. She's just a bit more feminine in her look. I like her body and her added substance of foot and bone that she has. This one wants to get a little bit worked up today. When she does that, she wants to get a little bit insecure in where she plants her hind leg. When she settles in, I think her structure reads nice. Every now and then when we get going a little bit more worked up, she wants to place her hind leg a little bit wide as we study her go away. There's some really good things about this heifer here in second, though. Man, you study the turn to her forerib all the way back out to her pin set. She's bold and wide there. She maybe doesn't have the sweep in her center body today, but I think that one has plenty of volume. I like that she has some growth and grow to her. As we study her foot shape, she wants to toe in up front, and she wants to maybe work up on her heel ever so slightly. I like to make her stronger there in her loin. Red heifer that comes next, man, you love her just easy keeping look in terms of her body. She reads ultra maternal and productive in the sweep from her chest all the way back into her flank. She's big and opened up. She maybe just needs to be relaxed in her structure. She wants to get up in her spine. As we study her go away, she wants to bow her hind leg just a little bit. But a really nice set. Let's give the kids a round of applause.
Placings for the Simmental registered heifers. First, Reed Hansel. Second, Ace Beatty. Third, Layla Beatty. Trophy sponsored by Loena Savings Bank and Rod Glaive. Now entering the ring, all other breeds registered heifers. Hallie Walls, Colleen Romig, Wyatt Gall. And in addition, Aiden Clay Clamp from Show Class Commercial Heifers Class 1.
Man, I think if we tried to assemble 4 more different cattle, I don't know if we could, because these all 4 are different shapes, sizes, and colors, representing different parts of the world and their breeds. It makes a lot of fun to study the differences, and this heifer that leads us off, man, what a place to start. She is just simply undeniable in terms of what she's able to combine. It is very hard to put that kind of footwork, hip and hind leg, body, sheer substance, and power on something that is so stylish and athletic in the way that she gets out and goes and props up from the side. It's a very nice one, young man. You should be very proud of her. Shorthorn Plus, that heifer that comes next, nothing to take away from her, because I do think this one's foot size, her bone, and the way she gets out and goes, and her structure is very nice. She's feminine and extended up front. This one's just plenty skinny today, and I wish she had a bit more condition on her. She wants to fall off behind her shoulder. She needs to have more body there back into her flank. Mini Herf that comes next is really big and stout and powerful. She might be one of the widest heifers out here when we study them from behind. Bold and a lot of volume to that one. Maybe just gets a bit more upright in terms of her structure. The hairdo's cool, but maybe it's a little bit distracting. Maybe like to relax her inner top ever so slightly. The Dexter heifer that comes next, her build and structure reads very nice in the way she's able to pick up and put her back foot where her front one left off. She's a bit green. She needs more feed and dimension to play with the rest of the cattle today. Very nice set.
Placings for all other breeds, registered heifers. First, Wyatt Gall. Second, Colleen Romig. Third, Hallie Walls. And fourth, Aiden Claycamp. Trophy sponsored by Community Savings Bank and Rod Glaive. Now entering the ring, Commercial Heifers Class 1, Maxwell Shantz, Cameron Moeller, Ella Mott, Maggie Toll.
They're commercials. Every class winner gets just a mile in.
So only one of these classes winning? It's children or both?
Yeah, only one.
a nice pair of heifers sort up, and there's some back and forth between them. For me today, I think the Charlet influenced one that's going to lead us off. It just comes with a bit more balance in the way her neck ties in, her top line all the way out to her tail head. I think she holds the advantage in terms of body. She's probably not as just stout or as wide when we studied the cattle up high or as from behind as the dark gray one that comes next. But from the side, I think this one just reads with a shot more femininity and balance. The dark gray one that comes next, like I talked about, has some muscle expression and width. When we study her in terms of her pins and hip, she's bold and opened up there. She maybe gets a bit tighter back into her flank. She gets a bit off behind her shoulder and rounder out of her hip. Belted heifer that comes next. I thought it got kind of close between the belted one and the red heifer, and there's some back and forth discussion there as well. I think the belted one just has a bit more condition on her today. She's bolder and softer back into her flank, reads with a bit more structure. Red one that comes next is longer and more extended, stays a bit more even and uniform in her top line, just gets a bit narrower when we step in behind the cattle though. Nice class, let's give them a round of applause.
Placings for all other breed. For show class 1 commercial heifers, first Ella Mott, second Maggie Toll, third Cameron Muller, fourth Maxwell Shantz. Trophy sponsored by Josephine Orr Memorial. Now in the ring, commercial heifers class 2, Tice Zittergreen, Kinnick Mott, Austin Stainer, Jackson Gray, Rochelle Westoff, and Anna Westoff.
a very nice class of cattle that are maybe wanting to act up just a little bit. And I have one pointer, and I kind of tell kids around the country, I got to judge on both coasts this year, and I think it's kind of underutilized at times. We need to make sure we have show halters that fit these cattle right. All of them need to be right up there at the base of their eye. The farther they fall down on the nose like that, the more they're going to want to act up, and when they fly back on that halter, they're really not going to like it. But you guys are still doing a great job in terms of showmanship and working with these things. My hat's off to you. I figured I'd just give you guys a bit of a pointer going forward. But man, this pair that leads us off here, very nice pair of cattle the young man bring us. There's some back and forth in these Charlet influenced ones. For me, as we ask him to get out and go and watch him move, the heifer that leads us off is just a bit more functional in her structure. I like this one's foot shape and the way she's able to pick up and plant out of that hip and hind leg. She's more feminine and neater in her look up front. And I think she's a little bit fresher in her condition today as well. I wish she had the presentation of this heifer here in a second to kind of knock off some of that hair on the top side of her neck, kind of make her look that much more feminine from the side. But I still think when we read through that, she is the more feminine heifer that comes with a bit more body today. Man, you love the just sheer width and substance and power that comes with this one here in second. Young man's done a really good job getting this one shown and presented and clipped as well. Man, she is the stoutest when we step in behind him, when we study her in her forerib and pin width. You like her added substance of foot and bone. As she gets out and goes, she wants to get up in her top. I'd like to fix her foot shape as well to allow her to get out and go with more comfort and flexibility in her structure. Heifer that comes next, I thought these next four black cattle got pretty tough to try and sort what I was going to do here. I'm going to kind of stay with the same tone. The heifer that leads off here, it just has better in terms of her structure. She's more set back in her shoulder, which allows her to take a bigger step. I think she comes with a bit more look and balance from the side. Young man's heifer that comes next, a very stout and powerful one. She is big and opened up. The young man's done a great job feeding this one. She's really awesome in terms of her condition today. Maybe just a little bit too much. It makes her a bit plainer there through her front end, but you love her sheer dimension. Heifer that comes next has some look and femininity up front. Feet read nice. Just gets a little bit harder bodied and rounder out of her hip. Big, late maturing, tall, growthy one comes next. Has a nice set to her hip and hind leg. I like to shorten her in terms of her toe and give her a bit more body to play with the rest of the cattle. Very nice set.
Placings for Class 2 commercial heifers. First, Kinnick Mott. Second, Tice Zettergreen. Third, Anna Westhoff. Fourth, Jackson Gray. Fifth, Rochelle Westhoff. And sixth, Austin Stainer. Trophy sponsored by Pat Finley Memorial. Now entering the ring, Class 3 commercial heifers, Isabella Craig, Nolan Schilling, Mason Boner, Peyton Stannard, Alyssa Meyer, Jordan Stannard, Kate Zittergreen.
My mom makes me in my room, like I have like a, they're all in a barn, and the bar is like this long, it's like all over the room, it's stupid.
Man, a nice class of cattle from top to bottom out here, and there's things that you like and things that you could deem functional in every single one of these. So you really have to try and put the most together. Who's the most complete today? I think this pair of cattle that sort up are very complete in their own right. The heifer that leads us off just takes it probably to the next step in terms of having some added look and balance about her as well. Her body shape is great. She's bold and opened up and productive. The way she uses her hip and hind leg is very nice. So she's sound as she gets out and goes. Balances really nicely from the side. Young lady does a great job getting her shown as well. Nice place to lead off there. If we had a set of cattle like these two, if we were just going to take off and start raising commercial bred heifers and bulls, just starting off with these two as kind of donor cows, I think we'd be in the right spot because there's a lot of good in these two. Heifer that comes in second probably has just a shot more power when we step in behind the cattle. I like that has a bit more growth and frame to her. Her neck ties on just a little bit higher. She gets a bit easier in her hip-loin junction, wants to crank up in that tail head. I like to clean her up about her navel to help her balance like the heifer ahead of her. Shorthorn heifer that comes next has a lot of balance when propped up from the side. For a shorthorn, you love her substance of foot and bone. Her top line is laid in real nice. She gets a bit upright in terms of her shoulder there, so when she gets out and goes, she wants to kick up in her spine because of it. Charolais influenced heifer that comes next has some really cool pieces. She's maybe the most feminine one of the class through her front end while still having the biggest hip and being the stoutest ended one, and those two things don't normally go at the same time. I'd like to give her just a shot more body compared to the rest of the cattle ahead of her. She's got some growths down there by her feet. I like to maybe clean those up from a longevity standpoint, but you love her power and look. Blaze-faced heifer that comes next, good in her condition, bold and opened up, just gets a bit plainer in her look up front. Black heifer that comes next, similar things, really is soft back into her flank, good in her structure, just reads a bit plainer there through her front end, needs more when we step in behind her. Heifer that rounds out has maybe as much look and extension up front as any of them, big hip on her, just gets a bit harder back into her flank, comes just maybe a bit excessive in terms of her size, but a very nice set.
Placings for Class 3 commercial heifers. First, Jordan Stannard. Second, Peyton Stannard. Third, Alyssa Meyer. Fourth, Mason Boner. Fifth, Nolan Schilling. Sixth, Isabella Craig. And seventh, Cade Zittergreen. Trophy sponsored by John and Linda Orr. Now entering the ring, Class 4 commercial heifers. Ella Mott, Keaton Plosel, Laura Drucker, Bennett Burns, Walker Settle.
These things are like falling apart.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Let me ask something real quick.
And a challenging class to sort, because I think the heifer that leads us off needs to do so and needs to do so in a hurry. And from there, there's a lot of different things you can do based off of where you place your priorities. And you might say, well, he likes this one thing more than the other. This one, I like cattle that are pretty well balanced, because for one, my family, we raise club calves, and we've had them Keys and Maine since they came over on the boat in the 70s and 80s, and we've always liked cool looking cattle that have the extras. But at the same time, we run on pastures that can be 2 to 3 miles wide at times. I think the heifer that leads us off could do very well on large pieces of ground like that, because her feet are so good. Man, she is the soundest, best built one, has the most body, look, and balance of this set. Very nice place to start. From there, I thought the Charolais best mimicked that in the way that she meets the ground. That's a really good footed heifer, takes a big step out of her hind leg, still comes with enough body, dimension, and substance to be deemed practical, and still balances up nice. She maybe just gets a bit mature in her look there at the base of her chest, the way she wants to hold her top line together. Hereford heifer that comes next, I think you really love just how neat she is laid in about her shoulder. Her hip and hind leg construction reads very practical. Maybe just needs a bit more body, a bit more substance to play with the cattle ahead of her. Heifer that comes next, maybe the biggest, stoutest ended one that we've seen all day. Man, she is wide and opened up and powerful. Her rear foot design needs reshaped. She wants to knuckle up on those pasterns and curl her toes. Heifer that comes next, young man's done a great job getting this one fit and presented. She's too hard-bodied, needs more built into her hip and hind leg structure just to be more comfortable. Very nice set. Let's give the young people a big round of applause.
Placings for Class 4 commercial heifers. First, Keaton Plozell. Second, Alamont. Third, Walker Settle. Fourth, Laura Drucker. Fifth, Bennett Burns. Trophy sponsored by Schulte Cattle Quip. Now entering the ring is the drive for champion and reserve champion commercial heifers. From Class 1, Elamont. Class 2, Kinnickmont. Class 3, Jordan Sanner. Class 4, Keaton Plozell.
really fun commercial division to go ahead and work through. I'll say one or two words about each of them briefly. Heifer out of our first class, one that I thought, one just from a build standpoint and the way she uses her hind leg while still having the right kind of balance. She maybe just needs a bit more softness there to the center portion of her body today, but she is the youngest and most immature one at the same time. I still think she could just have a bit more sweep back into her flank. Peach Heifer that comes next, one that in that really tough pair we talked about, her femininity is kind of what shone through, and she matched that with a really just stylish hip and hind leg build on her. She's maybe not presented as maybe as highly as these two cattle down here, but I still think that one's kind represents a lot of longevity. Heifer that comes next, one that we talked about, was just very complete in what she's able to combine. She's good bodied, she's stout, her feet and legs read right, she balances well from the side, everything's where she needs to be. Young lady does a good job getting her shown. Maybe compared to the one behind her, isn't quite as neat there at the base of her chest, but a lot of things you like about her. And the heifer that won her last class just kind of commands your attention in terms of just her presence. She's got a big foot on her. Her structure reads nice. She could maybe be cleaned up at the top side of her shoulder just a little bit if I'm being nitpicky, but I think that one reads very complete. I think there's a pair of them that suit me pretty well. Young man out of our last class, he'll have our champion. Young lady, you'll be reserved.
Champion Commercial Heifer went to Keaton Plosel. This trophy sponsored by Steve Orr Memorial. Reserve Champion Commercial Heifer went to Jordan Stannard. Trophy sponsored by KCTN FM 100. Now entering the ring, we will have the drive for Supreme Champion Heifer. We are skipping ahead in the program and doing the Supreme Champion Heifer before the home raised. If the Supreme and Reserve Supreme Champion Heifer are not home raised, we will then have the home raised drive for that. Now entering the ring for the Supreme Champion Heifer Drive, registered Angus class, Cambria Wessel. From registered Hereford, Ashley Schilling. From registered Hereford, Semitol, Reed Hansel. From all other breeds, Wyatt Gall. And from commercial, Keaton Plosel. you're fine. Need some place to sit. Thanks.
Let's give a big round of applause for all of our young folks out here in the Grand Drive. I get to pick 5, so I'm going to go ahead and give just a brief word about each one of them, so that way when it's all said and done, you can kind of have an idea what I was looking at. Heifer that runs our calf division, I thought was very nice and reads with a lot of future about her. You love her just build, her power, her balance, everything fits where it needs to be. Nice place for the young lady to have one going into next year. Angus heifer, man, she's awesome in terms of the center portion of her body, the sweep from the base of her chest all the way back into her flank is nice. She's neat and feminine in her look up front. You love her sheer foot size and power for an Angus. If I'm getting just real nitpicky on this one, she wants to splay out just a little bit up front. I'd like to change her rear foot shape just a nickel. But man, when the young lady gets her propped up like that there from the side, she's very picturesque in what she's able to put together. Hereford that comes next, one that reads with a lot of longevity, some growth and performance, like her top line, needs a bit more body. Simi heifer that comes next. Won that division just because of her balance and look from the side, her presentation. Man, the way her neck ties onto her shoulder, she always has those ears forward. She just really catches your attention. You know, maybe every now and then wants to set her hind leg just a little bit wide. I'd like to clean her up there just a little bit at the base of her chest. But man, you love her just body and power and look up front. Red and white mane heifer that comes next immediately catches your attention no matter where you're standing around the ring. Her body and dimension and what she's able to put together is very hard. It's like trying to put the power pieces of a monster truck with the build and elegance of a Ferrari all together in one piece is very nice. You love her just propped up from the side just like that. And the heifer that rounds out our commercials, ones that we talked about it, we like her build, we like her completeness, we like her balance. She could maybe just have a shot more lower body to play with the cattle ahead of her in the lineup out here. But man, you love her footwork and longevity there. With that, you know, I've been to quite a few county fairs already this summer, and over my experience of years of judging shows, you hear about the county fair drama, that everybody knows everybody, and there's dirt on everybody, and every county you go to, it's the same story, regardless of where you're at. And the one thing I have to tell you guys is that if you think about it, you are more similar to this group of people than you are different. You have the same hobby, you're all involved in agriculture, in the same state, in the same county, showing the same species, all having heifers out here in the Grand Drive. Guys, these aren't your competition. These are your mentors, these are your friends, these are your business partners, colleagues, people you look up to. When we get done today, go ahead and thank one another. These are people you're going to want to start businesses with one day, people that will be your lifelong friends. Commend each other, help out each other out as you go to Des Moines, because there's several out here that could do a lot there. With that, I'll set down the mic, show you your top 5.
Supreme Champion heifer went to Wyatt Gall, bringing in Colleen Romick from All Other Breeds class. Reserve Supreme Heifer went to Cambry Wessel.
Whoever has the champion heifer banner also needs to have this one.
Who's the champion heifer banner? Who?
Wyatt Dahl gets champion of the race.
Where did these go?
I think it's awesome that your guys' county does a home raised division because it really does make it that much more special when you get a breed on them, watch them grow up, develop, and feed them from start to end. And then the cooler part is you for sure get to retain them and bring them back and see what you can do with them. back in your herd. We'll talk about them each briefly. Reserve Commercial, very complete, very just good in terms of her build, balance, power, structure, everything fits together where it should. Hereford that comes next, you love her balance and longevity, needs a bit more body, but you like her structure. The calf that we talked about has a lot of cool pieces, maybe just a bit immature in this set, but reads with the right kind of indicators. I was telling the young people, these three here look like they could be the same heifer, just at different ages. Just a kind of a nice progression. All of them are good in terms of their structure, build, and balance, and have a lot of look. Heifer up front, talked about we liked her femininity. Maybe could be a bit stouter when we step in behind her. Heifer that came out of one of our last class, awesome in terms of the softness back into her flank. We can maybe clean up her top line just ever so slightly. And our younger heifer, one that reads with the right kind of indicators, just a bit more immature in terms of her body today. Red heifer, big, stout, powerful, opened up, easy keeping, all of those things. Maybe just gets a little bit up in her top at times. Nice calf out of our calf class earlier, maybe just a bit greener. And the heifer that comes next, the Freeze branded one, sound in terms of her structure, just gets a bit plainer in terms of her look and balance, but you like her body and you like the way she gets out and goes. I think it gets real close for reserve. Young man, my hat's off to you for raising one that special. Fun place to start there. It gets close between the rest of these. For me, there's a really complete one. That's the young lady at the front of the line. She'll have your reserve homebred.
Supreme Champion Heifer went to Wyatt Gall with trophy sponsored by Clayton County Cattlemen. Reserve Supreme Champion Heifer went to Cambry Wessel, trophy sponsored by Farmers Savings Bank. Honorable mention, third, Reed Hansel, fourth, Keaton Plosel, and fifth, Wyatt Walls. Champion Home Raised Heifer went to Wyatt Gall, trophy sponsored by Loena Savings Bank, and Reserve Champion Home Raised Heifer went to Jordan Stannard, trophy sponsored by Stannard Farms. Now entering the ring, all other breeds, cow-calf registered, Grant Cherney, Cameron Moeller, Grace Meyer, Colleen Romig, Peyton Stannard.
Can you do ribbons? Or somebody help. There's a John. Fine. Somebody get it. Somebody get it. Get it. Somebody tell it. Somebody. It's running. It's running. It's running. So, oh.
Man, it's fun to see large participations in the cow-calf classes because, man, it takes an extra love of labor just for love of the game to go ahead and go find an old cow out of the pasture that's probably not too happy to be a show cow again, get the calf weaned or halfway weaned and halter broken at the same time, make sure the calf has enough to nurse while you're at the fair. It's a lot of extra work, and I commend the young people for it. I think this trio that we had at the top of pairs gets really tricky for me when studying the best combination of both cow and calf. This Angus pair that leads off is probably the most my speed. They're awesome bodied cattle that are sound in their structure, and I think these ones balance as good as any of the cattle out here, both of them. The cow's maybe just got a little bit of extra condition on her, and I'd like to make her more uniform in her teats there. But man, propped up from the side, she reads really nice, and she's bred that on to her calf as well. White flanked Angus pair that comes next. I really love this cow in terms of her udder and teat quality. She's the best of the whole set as we study her there. Her calf that she has, awesome bodied, really good in terms of her build. Calf maybe gets a little bit plainer up front, and the cow, as we ask her to get out and go, she kind of wants to get a bit broken in her top line. I'd like to fix her there. Shorthorn pair that comes next is the absolute soundest cow of the whole set, and I love that. Watch her get out and go, and where she plants and pushes, and the shape to her feet is very, very ideal. And man, she's got a big, stout, burly bull calf next to her that she's done a great job getting to that condition. Maybe to get him a little bit extra fat to him, she's kind of taking it off of herself. She's a bit harder bodied and bare today. She needs a bit more condition on her to play with the rest of them. And I'd like to maybe make her teats a little bit more uniform, but she's done a great job because I really love this shorthorn bull calf. Shorthorn pair that comes next, the cow maybe has as much look and extension up front as any of them. The calf mirrored that as well with a lot of femininity and extension. Both these two get a little bit narrow when we step in behind them. I'd like to fix fix the cow's feet. That maybe concerned me just a little bit, where that one's wanting to curl up just ever so slightly. Hereford pair that rounds out the class. I have a lot of growth and extension to them. You love that for Herefords having just a bit more go in terms of their frame size and what they'll weigh at the end of the day. These two just read a bit skinny today. They can probably stand to have a shot more condition to them. Very nice set of pairs. Let's go ahead and give the young people a big round of applause.
Champion all other breeds, cow calf, went to Peyton Standard. Trophy sponsored by Seabright Egg and D&J Feed. Reserve champion cow calf for all other breeds went to Grant Cherney. Trophy sponsored by Rod Glaive. Third went to Colleen Romig. Fourth, Cameron Moeller. And fifth, Grace Meyer. Now entering the ring, Class 1 commercial cow-calf pairs, Mallory Dean, Mason Boner, Kinnick Mott, Alyssa Meyer, Kaylin Preen.
Man, there's one thing that I like about every single one in this pair, or in this class, probably best of this class, but the ones that put the most together are this pair of pairs that work up here, and the Gelby set that work up. I think when we ask the calf to get out and go, both the calf and the cow are the soundest set. Man, she's really good in terms of where she picks up and puts them down. She balances good from the side, yet still her udder and teats read really nice. Her bull calf here, man, he's stout, he's sound, everything's right in a nice place. Really fun pair to start there. The cow here that comes second, man, young lady, when you get her parked just like this from the side, man, she balances exceptionally well. She's dead level, she's soft back into her flank, she's still neat up front, even though she's just got a little bit of age on her, and the calf reads nice too. For me, the cow wants to kind of work up in her top as we ask her to get out and go. She wants to get underneath herself just ever so slightly. I'd like to make her udder and teats just a little bit more uniform to maybe get around that one ahead of her today, but a very nice pair. The set that comes next, I think just very solid. This heifer calf is great in terms of her body, build, and structure. Maybe took the build of the ones that she's out of and added just a shot more look and balance. The blaze-faced one has some look, just maybe gets a little bit off in her top line. Doesn't have the same body as the ones ahead of her today. Young ladies bring us a really interesting pair next. This calf that she has is truly exceptional. I was telling these girls that one should be a heck of a steer calf for him next year, and he'll be really fun to show. The cow's done a great job getting him that fed and that bloomy for this early in the summer, but it's maybe kind of come at the cost of her being a bit harder bodied and a bit bare today. She's in a bit harder condition. I'd like to freshen her up. Maybe the most uniquely bred animal I've gotten to judge yet. Young lady said that that calf is a Holstein Angus Highland White Part cross. I don't know if I've ever seen one of those, but man, he's pretty dang nice. He's got some look and balance. Maybe his mom could just stand to have a few more calories. She's a bit hard-bodied and a bit in poorer condition, but that's a cool-looking calf there. Really nice set.
Placings for Class 1 commercial cow-calf pairs. First, Kinnick Mott. Second, Alyssa Meyer. Third, Mason Boner. Fourth, Kaylin Preem. Fifth, Mallory Dean. Trophy sponsored by Rod Glaive. Now entering the ring, Class 2 commercial cow-calf pairs. Jake Meyer, Reagan Perkins, Lillian Krogman, and Torrin Tim.
tricky class to sort because maybe all these cows could stand to have just a little bit more condition on them. But I still think reading past that, I love this black pair just in the way that they're able to have so much look and balance about them. The cow propped up like this is really nice. You like her structure, her teats and udder are really refined there. She can maybe have just a little bit more body to her, but she's done a good job racing a nice bull calf here. Baldies that come next, I think this one maybe has the EST advantage in terms of having the most body of this class, and her calf reflects that. This one's got quite a bit of body in him as well. She maybe gets off in her top line ever so slightly. I'd like to fix her teat and udder structure just a little bit. Red ones that come next, really good in the way that they're able to get out and go off either ends of their skeleton. They're dead level out of their top. When we step in behind this pair, they could probably both stand to have a bit more width and muscle to them. But I like that she's replicated on how good her feet are to this bull calf. And the painted up cow that comes next is dead level right behind her shoulder all the way out to her tail head, and she's reflected that onto the next generation as well. She maybe gets a bit more upright in her shoulder and needs a bit more body, but a very nice class.
Placings for Class 2 commercial cow-calf pairs. First, Reagan Perkins. Second, Jake Meyer. Third, Lillian Krokman. Fourth, Torrin Timp. Trophy sponsored by Rod Glave. Now entering the ring, we are doing a champion commercial cow-calf pair. From Class 1, Kinnick Mott. From Class 2, Reagan Perkins.
What's in the back? Oh, it counts. It counts. I think they're days. Well, they're in there now, so we're fine. If they're all gone. Wait, hold on. Why are they turning away? Why are they turning away?
So we're going to do a division out of our last two classes because those were our commercial classes of pairs. Our class winners would be the red one over there and the solid black pair here. And I think there's some differences among our classes. I think for me, there's a pair of cattle that just have a bit more body to them and a bit more substance. I think they match each other. Our first and second out of our first class will be champion and reserve.
Champion commercial cow-calf went to Kinnick Mott. Reserve Champion Commercial Cow-Calf went to Alyssa Meyer with trophy sponsored by Citizen State Bank and KCTN FM 100. Now in the ring is Supreme Champion Cow-Calf pair. From All Other Breeds, Peyton Stannard and Grant Cherney. And from Commercial, Kinnick Mott and Alyssa Meyer.
And it's awesome to see such a high level of participation in the pair show because it shows that these kids are invested not only in showing cattle, but they're invested in raising and being part of the beef industry, which is cool to see because we need more of them every day. I mean, we have a record low cow herd right now. The 2026 calf herd was slightly up, and if we can continue in that direction, that would be good because if we talk a lot about it on my podcast every day about how we need to continue to increase U.S. beef production if we don't want to give up to countries like Brazil, Argentina, and Australia. And to do so, we have to invest in the future of agriculture, and these are these young people here. With that, I think there's a pair of them that are maybe a bit different in their type and kind, but I think they represent the most quality. For me, the pair of reds will be our champion pair today. The Angus pair out of our purebreds will be reserved. Let's give everyone a big round of applause.
Supreme Champion Cow-Calf went to Kinnick Mott. Trophy sponsored by Harold Crumfel Memorial. Reserve Champion Cow-Calf went to Peyton Stannard. Trophy sponsored by Steve Schilling with Purina Animal Nutrition. The ring is the best three animals shown by Colleen Romig. I would now like to take the time to thank our judge, Jed Sedwell from Joliet, Illinois, the sponsors for the t-shirts for all beef exhibitors from the Clayton County Cattlemen, the wood shavings donated by the Garnvillo Mill, the superintendents and ringmen, Dan Lane, Mindy Rose, Lacey Beck, Amelia Wigan, Adam Wigan, Kerrigan Glaive, Jacob Wessel, Connor Putz, and Corey Putz. If you could please put a round of applause together for all of these volunteers and the judge.
Well, this will be the last time I'm on the mic for today. I really had a pleasure judging your guys' county fair. You guys maybe have the most scenic fairgrounds of any county I've been to in the country. It really is pretty out here. Thanks to Dan and his crew for having me. It's really been a blast. A nice set of Shorthorn Plus cattle come in for our best of 3. My grandpa sat on the Shorthorn board for several years back in the day, so it's a breed that I have some fondness for. And these cattle are all very sound, is I think the best way to describe them. They're good in their footwork. And for Shorthorns, they have some substance of foot and bone, some pin width, and some power to them, which is cool to see. Should be a fun set for the young folks to use and breed onto. Let's go ahead and give them all a big round of applause.
Champion Best of 3 Animals went to Colleen Robig with trophy sponsored by Todd and Lynn Mosier.